Hi, this is Gloria. I'm a musician who loves to draw, and I'd like to share with you some of my favorite pieces of classical music, as well as some fun stories and personal musings that are all part of an artist's life. This episode, I want to talk about the experience that made me want to become an orchestral musician. Ludwig van Beethoven's 7th Symphony is probably one of the most famous and most performed pieces of classical literature. Written between 1811 and 1812, the symphony was first performed at a benefit concert for wounded soldiers with Beethoven at the podium. Often called the apotheosis of the dance, this piece is full of rhythmic energy and boisterous vigor from start to finish, causing the composer himself to declare, "I am Bacchus incarnate, appointed to give humanity wine to drown its sorrow." It was received with great enthusiasm and still remains today a favorite among musicians and audiences alike. Of course, when I was a kid, I didn't know anything about an apotheosis of the dance or a Bacchus incarnate. To me, it was just the new piece we were learning in youth orchestra. Back then, I was only playing music as an extracurricular activity, and I just liked it because all my friends liked it. Playing in the orchestra was also a relatively new experience for me, so a lot of the time I had no idea what I was doing and just kind of went through the motions. Little did I know that one event would change everything. One day, the principal flutist wasn't able to make it to rehearsal, so the teachers told me to move one seat over and play the first flute part. I had never seen that music before, and I still didn't know how the symphony was supposed to sound like. I just knew that there was a really big flute solo in the first movement. Needless to say, this was quite nerve-wracking. But ready or not, off we went. The first movement starts off with a grand introduction. Most classical symphonies begin with a slow introduction before the main theme is first presented. These introductions act as a sort of a fanfare, as if it's saying, "Hey everybody, listen up!" The music goes merrily along until we reach a musical roadblock. Everything stops and is stuck on this repeated E. The flute tries to get a tune started again, but is stopped immediately. The flute tries one more time, and then it ponders about the E. The strings answer back with their E's. What's happening? Nothing. And yet, something is about to happen. Aha! This repeated E gains momentum and transforms into a bouncy rhythmic figure like a tiny galloping horse and launches into a beautiful solo flying high above the orchestra. At that rehearsal, I really did feel like I was flying. Partially from all the butterflies in my stomach, but also because of the sheer exhilaration from the music. It was so happy and exuberant, and the excitement kept building and building as more voices joined in, culminating into a big tootie. That was the moment I first truly experienced the miracle known as the orchestra. So much was happening at once, engaging dialogue between instruments, beautiful solo melodies, and the thrill of many individuals becoming one in mind, body, and spirit through the same music. It was like being a single thread woven into a tapestry of sound, and what a beautiful and magical tapestry we created. I felt so alive that day, and I remember coming back home raving about how awesome orchestra was and listening to Carlos Kleiber's electrifying recording of Beethoven 7 over and over, just delighting in that glorious sound of the orchestra. I really felt a sense of fulfillment and completion that I had never felt from anything else before, and I knew that I wanted to continue playing in an orchestra. To this day, I still remember that feeling of excitement and wonder, and I hope one day you too can experience that same joy when you encounter the symphony orchestra.